On this edition of Chump for Chumps, we're talking about Mayweather-Pacquiao. Alright, so we're talking Mayweather-Pacquiao. I'll tell you what, Devon. I have not been as excited as I have for a single one-day sporting event as Mayweather-Pacquiao, which is going to go down May 2nd. When I heard this, I pissed my pants. I was so excited. I've been waiting 6 years for them to fight. I'm a loyal boxing fan. I know you're sort of on the outside, this whole thing, but from an outsider's perspective, who do you think is going to win the fight?
Well, there are two different fighters, quite the opposite.
Yes,
One's
you'd be right.
faster and
quick,
more offensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he could take a beating. Manny could take a beating.
That's right.
How long will the beating last before he falls?
Is that what you're thinking? Are you leaning towards Floyd? Is that a Floyd slant? I'm feeling
pretty much, because any sport, I think defense.
Yeah, you're a defensive guy. You like, and Floyd is known for the shoulder roll.
If he can stop, Manny's just gonna keep coming, and I don't know. Depending on how much heart Manny has, that's the only deciding factor.
That's true, and I think Manny has proved he is a great heart. For years, I remember the days when he was fighting only guys inches taller than him that were 10, 15 pounds heavier. I remember the Margarito fight, or when he fought Cotto, Claudio, all these boys. It was like, how is Floyd going to deal with fighting these bigger fighters? But he always has. He has that power, and that's what.
The heart.
He has the heart. He has the quickness. I'm a huge Pacquiao fan. I'd love to see him win, but I honestly don't know who's going to win. I can see it going either way. I really could.
Depends who shows up.
Yeah. People say Manny, he hasn't been as interested or as invested in boxing because he's
got other things on
government in Philippines, and he is these other roles. I think as Skip Bayless also points out, that he would be the most invested he's been in a fight in maybe his whole career, besides maybe a Marquez rematch, which happened in the past. Would you say that's probably true?
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know. This could be This could be a hyped match. You never know.
Yeah.
Could be over first round.
Ooh, I don't know if I see that.
Still,
I don't.
If Manny goes out flying, and Floyd can't defend.
Yeah,
it could be over fast.
Could be. I think you're right.
And Floyd's losing his speed. He's not as fast as
Floyd isn't as fast as he once was.
Manny's just as fast.
The way I see Floyd winning is by decision. I don't think Floyd could knock out Manny, to be honest.
I think it's the opposite. Because if you're going decision, Manny's going to have probably 100 more punches thrown than Floyd.
Yeah.
So there's no way he has a chance of winning that decision unless he does big blows.
No, but always, Pacquiao's going to throw more.
Yeah.
Always has. And that's what's gotten him decisions in the past. I think Floyd, the way it's going to go for a decision with him is where he's going to be just sort of controlling the rounds, picking his spots, playing great D, and he's going to find the good strike. Yeah, he's going to find the good striking blows, which are going to score points with the judges. But I'm so excited for this fight because Floyd Mayweather has been ducking Pacquiao for years. He's avoided him like the bubonic plague. This guy. I think finally it's good that peer pressure got to him. The public wanted this fight so much that it had to happen. I think that's great. All of us, we should give ourselves a pat in the back for calling out Floyd, and he's scared to lose. That really is it. You alright, Devon?
My stomach.
That's funny.
I don't know, Floyd, he may be scared to lose. I know he hasn't versed anyone like Manny before in his career.
No, not for years. As he
And they're at the back end. They're almost done, pretty much.
Yeah, they're in their mid to late 30s, both of them. That's why it would have been excellent if they fought 6 years ago, like they were supposed to, because we could have had one of the greatest fights, potentially trilogies in boxing history. I mean, you know, what if Ali and Frazier never fight? That's not.
Yeah, this fight has to be just as hyped as that fight would be in present day.
Like, there's nothing like it. These two, the titans of the sport, they're gonna split $300 million. That's what they say. $300 million. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's so much money. It's mind-boggling.
People are talking about, is it actually about the sport or is it about the money at this point? Well, that is a lot of money.
For Floyd, I think it's always been about the money.
So
his nickname is Floyd Money Mayweather.
So you think he's just gonna fight for the money? He's not.
For the
reputation.
I think he wants to be undefeated because only if a certain few champions have ever, Rocky Marciano, Joe Calzaghe. But I mean, boxing's a weird sport where I think even if you're undefeated, you're not going to automatically be placed as the greatest.
Yeah.
People say Ali's the greatest, and why they do is because he overcame losing to Frazier. He beat Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston's prime was the most feared heavyweight ever. He beat George Foreman, who was probably, of any heavyweight ever, the most feared, even more than Tyson back in the day. That's why they think, because he overcame these great odds, these great perceived odds. Shut your f***ing phone off. Making good points. People say Ali's the greatest because he lost to Frazier and overcame that defeat. He lost to Ken Norton in the 15th, overcame that defeat. He beat Liston in his prime, most feared heavyweight the time ever. He beat George Foreman, rope-a-dope. People thought that could never happen. They all counted him out. That's why people think, because adversity creates greatness. There's something in that, especially in a sport where you fight like boxing. And I think that's why. I think we've never seen Floyd, except for early in his career with, who was it? Luis Castillo. Definitely gave him a run, and there was a couple others, but he hasn't really been tested.
Yeah, and this will be his chance.
This will be his chance, for sure. And they all say he's the best ever, but I think he's got to prove it one of these nights in the ring.
But are they also going to say after the fight, if he loses, it's because he's old, he's not in his prime?
Well, I think that's partially his fault.
But
because he waited this long and he took some fights that, probably did.
Well, if that's the only reason he took the fight, was just because money. He didn't care who his opponent was.
That's sad for the sport. And it's sad also for the sanctioning bodies, the WBA, WBC, that they didn't get involved in this years ago and force them like they have in the past, like they did just the other day by forcing Andre Ward and Carl Froch. They have to fight 120 days. I think there's certain times when the sanctioning bodies definitely have to get involved because it was too great a thing.
Especially to keep it upbeat and intense.
Well, exactly. You want to have... I mean, the last year for boxing was horrific. It was awful. I mean, there weren't... The fights that were supposed to be great pay-per-view fights, they were uninteresting, and there was a lot of controversy, and it wasn't a good year for the sports. They needed a comeback here.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be big for them. But you're getting more into the boxing space. I know you don't follow it as much, but
I don't mind watching it once in a while.
Once in a while, the bigger names.
Yeah.
But you'll be watching May 2nd.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a man in the world not watching.
Not watching it. It's gonna be exciting. I know I'll be watching. I'll be praying for a Pacquiao knockout win. I'll be rooting hard for my boy Manny.
Just a man thing to do.
I would love to see Floyd go down. Nothing would I had a checklist of
your bucket list,
sort of sporting things I need to see again, and that was probably number 2. I'll be honest. Number 1 is an Oiler Cup run. Another Oiler Cup run. Last time they made the playoffs, I was like this tall. It's your dream. This is big. I've thought about it for so long. I can't wait. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic to see Floyd go down.
I don't know how I'm feeling yet.
Yeah.
Until the fight.
I know
really
you're pretty
gets-
mellow. You give this mellow vibe,
Yeah.
but
Until-
secretly you're excited as well.
Yeah.
you're
I'm
thinking
jumping for joy. in
You're
the
jumping
background.
for joy. I can see it. Jumping for joy. That's good. May 2nd. I know I'll be watching. You'll
Yeah.
be watching.
Will you guys be watching?
I hope you are. Oh. I messed that. You should cut it there as soon as he says. Yeah.
Oh, we're
That
done?
should be the end of the video. That should be the end.
Are you watching?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good 10-minute video. Like it.
It
It was actually
Just
10
stop
minutes.
the recording. I want to eat my apple.